I asked over 1,000 people what their favorite and least favorite Smash Bros characters are. My survey got 1,740 responses and I compiled all of the data, and I'm not very good at Excel, so this took me a while. So today we are going to have a look at which characters people like to play the least all the way up to the most. And this is actually kind of helpful for Nintendo. If you're watching this could help you figure out which characters to change for the next Smash Bros game and which characters you should probably keep the same because everyone loves them. But first, when creating the survey, I did have some decisions to make, which is, would I separate Echo Fighters from their original? And I decided to, because it's very interesting to look at which Echo Fighters people like playing more than the others. And with characters like Pokemon Trainer and Pyra and Mithra, I had to decide whether to separate those characters or keep them together. Now, I ultimately decided to keep them together because if you play Pokemon Trainer, you're playing all three characters, and same with Pyra and Mithra, you're playing both of those. I then got people to rate every single character in the game with how much they enjoy playing as the character, giving it a rating of 1 if they hate playing as the character and a 5 if they love playing as the character. And I encourage people to not answer for characters they have not played so it didn't mess up the results. So with that all sorted, I asked people to fill out this survey while also leaving a single sentence on why they enjoy playing their favorite character and a sentence on why their least favorite character is so unfun to play. Starting it off with the bottom of the list, an average rating of 1.84 and 826 of our 1,740 people giving this character a solid 1 out of 5. We have Olimar. There were a lot of complaints about Olimar's Pikmin, such as Olimar, in brackets, don't like Pikmin, and Olimar because tracking Pikmin is BS. Another person said Olimar, he's just boring, his moves are all the same, and I dislike camping. And if you look at top play with Olimar, we do see this. A lot of the gameplay revolves around getting the right Pikmin out, camping your opponent, running back, throwing side B, throwing forward smash, and the people want to get in there and fight. So Nintendo, please fix this character up in the next game. Now, next we have the only other character that on average had a 1 point something rating. And with 1.86, we have Min Min. Very similar to Olimar with the campy playstyle, people not enjoying that. And also similar to how Olimar's Pikmin are kind of annoying and weird to keep track of, we had Min Min, because it feels so confusing. Min Min, she just feels very unintuitive. The arm mechanic is hard to use right unless you practice. And this one is just great. I don't feel like I'm doing anything to deserve the win when I can just spam giant hitboxes from the other side of the stage. Also, just realized, not sure if I explained this at the start, but we're going to go through the bottom 10 characters, then really speed through the middle characters and show you guys the top 10 in a bit more in depth. 2.07, and well, if it isn't another confusing, campy character, we have Mega Man. With people once again being confused. I don't really understand the setups and projectile abilities with Mega Man, and his jab and forward tilt are literally the same. People want a bit of variety, and people do not want to be camping. Now, only just ahead with 2.08, we have Bayonetta. And this is the first one of many that actually surprised me a bit because she isn't that campy of a character, but the confusion is really what seems to get people. Bayonetta, because I don't want to learn the combos, and without them, she's nothing. Also, too light. Bayonetta is my least favorite character to play as because despite their visual appeal, her combos feel incredibly slow to perform and unsatisfying to land. Not as satisfying as that visual appeal though. Bayonetta, because she has really complex combos, and when you can't hit them, it feels like you're hitting the opponent with a rubber chicken. Yeah, people are really not enjoying Bayonetta. She's a bit too confusing for people, and if you don't get that skill down, then she's kind of just bad. But let me tell you, that might not be the worst thing in the world, because yeah, I'm having Smash 4 flashbacks right now where she was a little bit too easy and a little bit too good. 2.11, we have Ice Climbers, and look, I'm sure we can all guess. Yeah, it's confusing. There's 2 of them. How do the combos work? It's crazy. For the 81st most fun character to play in Smash Bros. With an average rating of 2.16 out of 5, it is Sonic. This character is notorious, and I feel like if we did rate the characters on how much you hate to play against them, Sonic could have been first on the list here. Sonic. He's a piece of shit and a pain in the ass. I I feel like we're not really getting any surprises here with these campy, complex characters being people's least favorite character. So up next, we have me, Gunner, at 2.3. I'm sure you could figure that out. Very similar, we have Simon Belmont with an average rating of 2.32. Now, weirdly enough, this isn't the biggest echo difference, but Richter is all the way up there at 69th most fun character as a 2.44. Could somebody please explain to me what that is about? Is it a looks thing? Because I thought Simon looked cooler. I don't know what that's about. And closing out our bottom 10, we have Duck Hunt at 2.32, and then Banjo and Kazooie at 2.36. Now, really quickly, there was 44 people who found Olimar as their most fun character, gave it a 5 out of 5. I really just want to quickly look at some of those responses. Olimar, because he's a silly little guy with a fun gimmick. Well, this person's just living their best life, aren't they? Are you terrible at Smash Bros? Well, at the School of Smash, we have been seeing incredible results, incredible improvement, people defeating opponents they have never defeated before. People have actually started winning their local tournaments because of the School of Smash. If you want to find out more, please click the link in the description. Or if you just want to support the channel and become a member and get an extra cheeky video once a week, you can do that there too. Anyways, that was very abrupt. I do apologize. I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. Thank you. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Now, for the sake of time, here are all of the characters' ratings other than the top 10 most favorite characters. And before we get to that top 10 most popular characters, I wanted to quickly talk about a few very interesting facts I found from looking at all of this data. And that is that number one, the biggest echo difference is between Chrom and Roy. And this is slight spoilers because Roy's in the top 10, but he had a 3.67 and Chrom had a 3.34. Another interesting fact with Rosalina being 2.37 and Min Min and Olimar being by far the least popular two characters in the game. That kind of means that Dabuz is probably people's least favorite person to fight against, considering he is a top player who specializes in playing with Min Min, Olimar, and Rosalina and Luma. So shoutouts to Dabuz. He's such a nice guy that everyone still loves him, even though he plays statistically the most hated characters in the entire game. And finally, the thing that I was most interested in. People talk about how DLC ruined the game. Maybe DLC is awesome for Smash Bros. We've got the stats now. And so I compiled the average rating of DLC characters and the average rating of the base game characters to compare the two to see what people liked more. And I will say that the DLC characters of Smash Bros. Ultimate had an average rating of 3.00 out of 5. While the base game had an average of only 2.92 out of 5, meaning that people actually, statistically, consider the game to be better with the DLC. And you think that might put the whole argument to rest, but it doesn't, because it gets even more interesting when we break it down into Fighter Pass 1 and Fighter Pass 2. Fighter Pass 1 had an average rating of 3.26, which means people absolutely loved Fighter Pass 1. And of course, that means Fighter Pass 2 had an absolutely miserable average rating of 2.78 out of 5. So statistically, we now know if you want the best Smash Bros. Ultimate experience, just get the base game with Fighter Pass 1. Don't get Fighter Pass 2. Now, speaking of the DLC, let me tell you that 3 of the DLC characters are in the top 10. The first one being Byleth with an average rating of 3.56. And here are some of the responses. Byleth, because his moves are super satisfying to hit and the up B combo kills are awesome. And I agree with that. I put out the video of like doing the up B kill on Donkey Kong, the Byleth 0 to death. And Byleth, I actually talk about how it is such a character that has grown on me so much. When she first came out, or he first came out, people were like, oh no, another Fire Emblem character. But he's actually really different, so satisfying to land all his moves, and they did a really great job with Byleth. Number 9, a very controversial character with a 3.63, we have Hero. Now, I say that this character is controversial because there was a part of time in South Australia where Hero was actually banned, and it's because he's very RNG, very random. So in tournaments, you weren't allowed to play him. Now, he is completely legal once again, but there's also the controversies of if you're playing maybe on a Japanese Switch because you're over at a tournament in Japan, you can't read what the hero character is doing. And this absolute random craziness might not be the best for tournament, but my goodness, is it fun to play casually. Hero! He is always a good time, casuals or also in competitive settings. And I feel like this comment just sums it up perfectly. Hero is the epitome of effort energy and is immensely fun. Oh, and actually this comment brings up something I didn't think about. Hero is a fantastic counter camper who's got a lot of chaotic fun to be had. Yeah, with Hero's bounce mechanic, it forces campy characters to approach you. So that is a very interesting aspect of Hero. With a 3.64, we have another one of MKLeo's characters. First it was Byleth, now we have Joker. This one really caught me by surprise because I don't really play much Joker. He is pretty fun, but I find him actually a little bit tricky. But people said Joker, his combos flow together in a very fun way, and his style and gun are sick. Also playing around Arsene is fun. I like Joker because he's good, combos are easy, and I like the Persona games and their aesthetic. Also, sick-ass Final Smash. So people are really liking his style, his aesthetics. He's not too complex of a character, but the combos are still fun and flow together nicely. 3.66, we have Bowser because he is strong. It's Bowser. He's pretty easy to learn and fun to play with solid speed and great damage. Bowser, because he big and strong and grabs people unconsent. Oh, whoa. Should have read that before I said it. But no surprise here that a heavy is on the list. There is a reason why I had a tournament where only heavy characters were invited. Heavies are just so fun to watch because they combo hard, they get comboed hard, they kill early. It's just excitement all around. And Bowser coming in at this spot really shows that. At number 6 with 3.67, we have Roy. This speed demon really likes to get up close and personal. Very similar to Joker, that he has good speed, kind of easy to flow with combos, but let's take a look at what people had to say. Roy, he's insanely explosive and fast-paced, always causes a lot of hype clips. Roy, because of kill power and jab back air, is so satisfying. Really, Nintendo's ability to amplify some moves to make them really satisfying to land, like Roy back air, like Byleth's hits, actually show that it makes a big difference on how fun it is to play the character. So shout outs to Sakurai. Well done for making some moves just feel really solid and nice to land. Bit of a jump up in rating now to 3.73. We have King K. Rool. And let me just say, when you bring in a heavyweight that has a back air spike and a down air spike, 2 spikes on a heavyweight, that is just recipe for success. This person has said King K. Rool because he's brainless. King K. Rool because of his prodigious size. What does that mean? Yeah, prodigious, remarkably or impressively great in extent, size, or degree. His can-do attitude and Gangplank Galleon. Gangplank Galleon is such a good song. I use it for my outro, by the way, that it has made people like playing King K. Rool. That's so funny. And this is great. King K. Rool, he's fun and simple, and that really just hits the nail on the head. 3.78, an absolute classic. That is Captain Falcon. I'm sure this comes as a surprise to no one. Me and my friends always used to have like Captain Falcon dittos, and whoever was kind of the best Captain Falcon in the group is kind of like, they're the alpha now. They're the male lion who gets to bang all the other lions. I don't know what I'm talking about. My favorite character to play is Captain Falcon. He's very quick and has rapid and flashy combos. Captain Falcon knee is so much fun to land. Once again, those satisfying moves that Nintendo throws in there actually make a really big difference. Like the flashiness and it's the satisfaction you get when you land a knee. Oh, it's so good. Now, the third most fun character to play as in Smash Bros. Ultimate with an average rating of 3.84, we have Incineroar. That was a good rhyme. Incineroar, because I love always feeling like I can make a comeback. Incineroar has his down B, his revenge move that lets you hit like moves that kill your opponent at actually 0%. It's crazy, and so that is a great attitude that you can always win a match no matter what, as long as you're playing Incineroar. Incineroar, he has fun burst options and cheesy off-stage interactions, as well as explosive damage and simple combos. Once again, the simplicity of a character coming in, and the cheesy fun options similar to Hero coming in with Incineroar as well, combined with his satisfying moves such as Side B that does big damage. He's kind of a blend of what we've seen as so many aspects make a good character, according to the people who filled out this survey, all come together with Incineroar. And no wonder SkyJ is a lot of people's favorite player to watch. Number 2, 3.98. It is Ganondorf. Now, I've always had feelings of, oh, Ganondorf is kind of a Captain Falcon clone. Maybe they need to change Ganondorf up completely. They've done him a disservice because he's Ganondorf. But guess what? People really love Ganondorf. So if anything, I think in the next Smash Bros. Games, they should have Ganondorf, and then they maybe should have new Ganondorf. So we can still keep this version of Ganondorf because he's so cool. Second most fun character to play as in the game. And I agree with that. I really love Ganondorf. I actually managed to win a tournament with Ganondorf because I just loved playing as him. Ganondorf, big hit, make cool sound. The satisfaction coming in once again. Ganondorf, because he's bad but fun. Ganondorf, simple combos, heavy hits, awesome spikes. The spikes are very important. Now, one thing I do want to point out that was interesting about Ganondorf is he actually had a kind of high amount of people, 61 people saying that they hated playing Ganondorf, compared to some other characters in the top 10 like Roy, who only had 36 people saying they hated him. Because the thing with heavies is, even though it's very fun, especially if you're winning, if you're playing Ganondorf against top level players, then I can see why it can be very unfun to play as him if you're getting absolutely destroyed. However, our number 1 character didn't seem to have this much of a problem, with only 16 people out of the 1,740 giving him a rating of 1, and 736 giving it a perfect 5 out of 5. We have the big monkey himself, Donkey Kong. First of all, I just want to point out that even the most loved character had 16 people who completely hate him. So, dude, no matter what you do, you're gonna get hate, apparently. But my goodness, did they absolutely nail Donkey Kong. Big smacking monkey with 4 spikes! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, please! Are you kidding me? Please! Are you gonna make a better character than a character with 4 spikes? I don't think so. Donkey Kong, because of the spikes. Donkey Kong, because monkey spike. I think we're seeing a pattern here, Nintendo. Next Smash Bros. Game, please, could we just have everyone having spikes and nobody being a zoner? That would be amazing. And finally, a comment that didn't only mention the spikes. He has his grab and throw and spiking options, of course. But yeah, people love the simplicity, the satisfaction of Donkey Kong's easy combos. And he has 4 spikes. Has that been mentioned? But please, in the comments for this video, let me know if you liked this video, if you want me to remake it again with what it's like to fight against certain characters, because that list would be quite different. But I do hope you enjoyed this. It was a lot of effort, so please drop a like and leave a comment if you did enjoy it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for your support. Bye.